How you doing today? Yeah, I got a handful of foils to drop off.
Okay.
Let me get those to you.
Make all this stuff out again.
It's mostly related to the lawsuit settlement that just happened.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I
It looks like it wasn't voted on in public hearing,
this is
public
where we-
meeting, and we're trying to get information on that.
Okay, are these all separate or they all?
There should be 8 there.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2.
Hello, this is Dwayne Whitmer with ASHTON Media. Today's investigation and story takes place in the town of Evans, New York, a small town located on Lake Erie, about 20 minutes south of Buffalo. This story looks into a lawsuit filed by a previous supervisor against current board members, the background on that, and also follows up on whether or not a vote to pay the settlement of this lawsuit was done under proper New York State law. First, some brief electoral history in Evans. In 2015, Democrat Mary Hosler was elected supervisor by 16 votes. In 2019, she won re-election and her victory gap widened to over 600 votes. However, in October of 2022, she was hired as a deputy comptroller in the Erie County Comptroller's office and worked there until she resigned as Evans supervisor in February of 2023. From October to February, she was working both positions, which are supposedly both full-time jobs. From her resignation to end of term, the deputy supervisor, Thomas George, ran the meetings. In November of 2023, Ray ASHTON, a Democrat who was a part-time patrolman for the town of Brant and former Public Works crew chief and superintendent of highways, won the election. Now here's where things get interesting. In 2011, the Evans Town's board voted that elected officials do not qualify for a health insurance buyout, essentially a $1,500 a year payment if they're not on the town of Evans health insurance. In 2015, they reversed the 2011 ruling to make elected officials once again eligible for this benefit. In 2016, Mary Hosler, along with another board member, Jean Mako, applied for the payments and were deemed ineligible. Once again, in February of 2020, citing cost-cutting measures, the board once again voted to undo any previous health insurance buyout ruling and say, 1, we're rescinding all previous health benefit policies for elected officials. They cannot go back and seek previously unclaimed benefits, and they no longer qualify for these benefits. What's interesting to note is that Mary Hosler herself seconded and voted yes on this 2020 resolution, rescinding all health benefit policies and not allowing looking back and seeking forgone benefits. However, in August of 2020, Mary Hosler received a check for $6,000, a $1,500 stipend times 4, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, 4 years of health insurance buyout payments. Secondly, in 2021 and 2023, Mary Hosler voted for herself to the position as the town's budget director, a position that comes with a $15,000 annual stipend. According to Evans' ethics policy, she should have recused herself because the vote was a tie and she was the deciding vote to make her this position. While the 2021 organizational meeting minutes are not available online, this shows the vote from 2023 where she was the deciding factor. Interestingly enough, the new supervisor, Ray ASHTON, has also been unanimously voted budget director, which also comes with the stipend. There are allegations that this is a backdoor way to increase the supervisor's salary without having to do an actual vote on it, and not letting the people see exactly what's happening there. Lastly, in September of 2024, the New York State Comptroller's Office released an audit finding that the town of Evans did not properly account for, track, and record separation and leave payments, which means potentially tens of thousands of dollars were overpaid. It also ruled that Mary Hosler was not entitled to the $6,000 buyout that she took. The audit also issued 9 recommendations they suggest the town of Evans take. So far, all I have seen was the town of Evans supervisor, Ray ASHTON, said he agreed with the findings, but I have no record of them actually implementing any of these recommendations. And multiple times, other board members have mentioned a third-party audit to come in and look at some of the financial records. It has been shot down by Supervisor ASHTON. A complaint was lodged with the Town of Evans Ethics Committee. They met and ruled that according to the Town of Evans Ethics Code, she should have recused herself from this vote for budget director because it was a matter that she would financially benefit. It is something to point out that had she recused herself, the vote would have failed as it would not have gotten majority. They also ruled that she should not have been entitled to the $6,000 health insurance buyout and ruled that she should have to pay back $23,054.79. They noted that the Ethics Committee does not have enforcement or collections abilities, therefore it referred it to the Town of Evans Town Board to see if they wanted to collect on it or not. On November 6, 2024, the Town of Evans Board allegedly tabled a vote on this repayment issue. A concern I will note is that I cannot find anything in the minutes addressing a vote, a conversation, or anything discussing this, and the online recording of the video has corrupted sound, so you cannot actually hear if anyone is speaking. On November 20th, 2024, Mary Hosler filed a defamation lawsuit against the Town of Evans and mschraft, 2 board members who were pushing for repayment. In July of 2025, the lawsuit is settled, and this stipulation of discontinuance is filed. However, there is no record of the town board voting to approve any settlement in any meeting from July to current. Town boards are allowed to go in executive session, which is excluding the public from discussions and other sensitive matters, but our research has shown there is no evidence of an executive session being called for at all since July. Now, New York State's open meetings law requires lawmakers to disclose an open session when and the reason they are entering an executive session. They must have an open vote approving going into executive session. Furthermore, no action by formal vote shall be taken to appropriate public monies during an executive session. Therefore, they would have to have a public vote approving the expenditure of these funds. This vote does not show up in any minutes since July. Some news articles were written, and a handful of people have reached out asking us to investigate. Therefore, investigate we must.
Why, thank you, sir. What a kind gentleman. Court clerk, legal office, restrooms, police, town departments. Supervisor. Councilman, doors away, should I?
passport book was issued more than 15 years ago.
Oh, okay, so what happens is if it's more than 15 years prior, it's not a renewal anymore, it's considered a new application.
Okay, but we can't do it by mail.
You have to come to a passport,
Location.
agent. Yes.
So where do we go?
You can come here.
Okay, when can we come? Because I just stopped at the post office in Derby.
Yeah.
And they said that they could possibly help me, but the lady's not there. So I didn't know there was a personal person that
Yeah,
did that.
well, so when you do a new application, there's a person. You have to either come to a new.
How you doing today?
application, you
Yeah.
have to go to Mickey.
I got a handful of foils to drop off.
Okay.
So
Let me get
we
those
have
to you.
Make all this stuff out again.
It's mostly related to the lawsuit settlement that just happened.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I
Looks like it wasn't voted on
stopping
in
to get
public,
info.
public hearing, public meeting, and we're trying to get information on that.
Okay, are these all separate or they all?
There should be 8 there.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2 new passport applications.
I didn't staple them. I didn't know if you wanted them separate or not, so.
Nope, that's fine.
But
Perfect.
when the passport agent that's here does your passport, I don't know if this like photocopy is gonna be acceptable.
Also, we have to have our picture taken and all that all over.
You need a copy of any of
I will let
these?
her decide
Could you,
that.
if you don't mind?
Yep.
It's not
That's
my
perfect, thank you.
area of expertise.
And then you guys don't accept PD foils here. We gotta go next door for that?
Right.
Perfect, okay.
Is it Lynn?
Well, Lynn's over there, but Lynn's not the one that does the
Oh,
passport. I'm
she
just
did
gonna
one
go.
for my daughter.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna go get the application, I will give them to you, and then we can talk about making an appointment if you were
Make
interested.
it- Yes, I
Yes.
am interested.
Okay, so
Thank
hold
you.
on one second, you're welcome.
I need that in here.
Yeah, it's fucking my taxes.
Why don't you come on down?
Oh, you're important.
I got you all over, how are you today?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, come visit the Reaper.
Good time of year, right? Okay. So take this back and put this in your envelope. And then when you come, bring these envelopes so you can show her also.
Okay, because our pictures are in there,
Yeah,
but
so she'll be the one who can decide what you're supposed to do, yeah? And then here's the new application. Did you pay already?
yeah,
Too?
everything's paid.
Okay, so yeah, so take these.
Alrighty.
those are your
That is perfect. Thank you so much.
There you go.
You enjoy your day.
You too, thanks.
Thank you.
I can schedule you for Monday.
Like what?
And he's telling me that, then he's like, there's an elevation. I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think there is.
I took a double.
How you doing?
How you doing today?
Good.
If I want to get a copy of the tentative tax roll for 2025, how do I do that?
Tentative tax roll?
Tentative tax roll is online.
Hmm?
You want tentative or final?
Both if you can get it.
You get it online.
Okay?
Final, we don't have county doesn't send us the whole thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, we have it like by name, I think, or address.
Okay.
So here it is. Do you want the
Perfect.
whole thing? I don't.
Can I just take a look at it? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Good, how are you doing?
Is it separate by commercial then residential, or is it all?
I don't think so. I think it
No,
might
it's
be.
not. It's street. I can find
Well, the village is first,
it. Mm-hmm.
and then the town's second, and it is in, I think, address
It's like
order.
address. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. Okay.
Or if you want me to look it up.
No, I can do it. I gotta do it for the record, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you. You found me. Yeah, I'm there. Perfect. Hey, thank you so
All
much.
right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Hey, take care.
You too.
What I did there is I actually own property in Evans, and I merged two properties into one. And see if the councilman are in today. What? Yeah. What about? Yeah. No. Yeah.
Nobody's in there?
I don't see anyone.
One of the foils asked for the minutes of the July meeting in which this discussion supposedly took place. To note, the July meeting where this allegedly happened is one of only 2 meetings that are not on the Town of Evans website since 2020. We still have no record from that meeting. The second foil directly asked for the settlement amount. According to the Committee on Open Government and court cases, while the town doesn't have to openly disclose the amount, it is a record that is subject to a FOIL request. This means they don't have to openly advertise what they settled for. If a FOIL requests it, they do have to fill that FOIL. When this happens, it breaks transparency and shows towns are not complying with the law. Therefore, I have to go to their board meeting. Hey guys, how you doing? Good. My name's Dwayne Whitmer. I'm here about a settlement that happened a few months ago. Came to our attention that something happened. You guys were sued. You issued a settlement, but you didn't do it the right way. So I filled out a FOIL request to see what the settlement amount was, and that FOIL was rejected, saying that it was anticipation of litigation, and therefore subject to attorney-client privilege. The problem is I filled out that FOIL request in October, but my legal counsel and the court say that a stipulation of discontinuance was filed in July, and the person who sued you went on and said that her attorney has received the check. So if a FOIL is filled out in October, and the court case is over in July and check is already sent, it's subject to FOIL. And so what I did was I consulted with my legal team, and there are Committee on Open Government rulings stating that this amount is subject to public disclosure. And also there are a handful of court cases proving it is subject to public disclosure. So what I'd like to do is resubmit the FOIL. It was rejected. I'm going to resubmit the FOIL tomorrow. And for sake of my transparency, if it gets rejected again, we will appeal it. And if you reject the appeal, we have an attorney ready to sue you to force you to disclose to the public what was paid. Why I'm so frustrated is because I also asked for a record of the minutes and the public recording of when this meeting happened, and said the minutes are online and the recordings are online. There's actually only one meeting from you guys that is not online, which is the July meeting where this conversation occurred. I find that very, very frustrating. So as I look into Evans, I see that you also had an overpayment of leave time. And I'd like to ask, and I'll foil this if that's okay, was that leave time ever recouped, or was that just paid out oopsie poopsie, taxpayers can get colon punched for more tax dollars and we'll figure it out later? It seems like there's real no accountability of essentially wasted taxpayer funds. So recently I actually bought a property in Evans. I'm an Evans taxpayer. And on my property, and this is what blew my mind, was a commercial or a residential residence that we actually demolished. And somehow, even though a house was condemned and had a third of the market value that my personal residence does in Hamburg, my tax liability was almost equal. You guys have a massive cost of government to a declining and aging population. And as I drive down Route 5, I don't see growth. I see Steve-O's is closed. Shore House is closed. I see the ice cream places for sale. I don't really view the government as a partner with businesses. I see you guys as a barrier. As someone who's dealt with a handful of your departments in the last few years getting my building going, I'm very unimpressed. What it seems like to me is that Derby has become a fiefdom.
where a handful of political class people get the paychecks, get the benefits, get the money, and the taxpayers are on the hook for it, and it's very frustrating and disappointing. And I'd like to see something change. I think this is proven by the recent Democrat versus Conservative Party lawsuit that happened a few years ago, where it came out that a bunch of Democrats enrolled conservatives attempt to take over the conservative line. It's you guys protecting your fiefdom, trying to keep control of the elected officials and the appointments to keep the money in your own pockets. Evans' population is dropping, it's declining. Businesses are leaving, people are leaving. Your own ex-supervisor left for a better job elsewhere. And I'd like to see, as someone who's recently fairly new here, hopefully some changes. I'd like to see the town become a better place. You know, as the town thrives, we all thrive. So that's what I'm here about, and I will be in tomorrow or Friday to fill out that FOIL request, but that's my time. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for part 2 and our follow-up.